Hi everybody, Kyle Austin, MLive.com here at Breslin Center after Michigan State's 85-57 win over Indiana. Here's my three takeaways. Takeaway number one, Michigan State is back to looking like we're used to seeing it look. Obviously losing 2 out of 3 last week. Lauren Bowers kind of started to sound, especially I think after that win over Michigan where they looked pretty listless a lot of the time. But, this is back to what we were seeing, through December, through January, early January, through that 14-game win streak. Really, Michigan State, going on an 18-point run in the first half. And really never in doubt. Against an Indiana team that had come in having won 3 straight, doing what we're used to them doing, getting out in transition, balanced scoring, Miles Bridges, Nick Ward leading the way, playing improved defense for the most part, and really, all around, not a whole lot of weak spots and really what we're used to them doing. And I think players talked about a pretty tough 5 days of practice. They had 5 days off between the Michigan loss and this one, and it sounds like it was pretty intense. That they worked on a lot of different stuff. They a lot of rebounding drills, a lot of war drills, and they kind of got back to the roots a little bit. And I think we saw a pretty big difference tonight in how this team looked. Takeaway number 2, mentioned the transition. I think that was key for this team going into it to kind of get that offense going again, to not spend so much time in that half court where you can get bogged down, where every team in the Big Ten knows their sets. I think it's harder in the Big Ten to get that half court offense. So this team, I think they did a good job tonight of looking into the transition. I think that spaces things out a little bit better. I think it's easier to get Nick Ward involved. You can't double team a guy when he's on the fast break, so I think that worked well for them. And Archie Miller, Indiana's coach, really talked about that, as being the key, and just having to play transition defense for that long against Michigan State, how difficult that is. So I think that was big for them. And then takeaway number 3, Michigan State got pretty much exactly what it needed out of its 2 best offensive players. Miles Bridges, 22 points, 9 for 13, 4 for 6 from 3-point range. Really best team I've seen him play in a couple weeks. Taking it off the dribble, getting to the hoop a couple of times. He had one baseline take in the second half for a dunk that was one of his best plays of the year, I thought. But then also taking off the dribble a little bit more, which is something I know a lot of people wanted him to do. I thought he did a little bit better job today. I thought he looked for that, and he did a pretty good job doing that. Plus hitting the outside shots. I thought it was a pretty well-rounded game for him overall, and really the sort of thing that we expected to see this year from him. And then Nick Ward, obviously, he's been dealing with the double teams. We talked about transition game helping him, which it did, but he also, when they were in the half court and he got doubled, he looked a lot better. He looked calm. He didn't panic and turn it over or force a bad shot. He dribbled out of one, hit Cassius Winston on a great cross-court pass. But overall, it's something they worked on a lot in practice, and I think they know what to do. I think every team's going to start doubling Nick Ward, he finished today, 7 for 9, shooting the ball, 18 points, 4 for 7 free throws, and really they were able to get him a lot more involved. 2 losses last week, he had to sit extended stretches. Today, he was much more involved, and that was great for Michigan State. That'll do it here from Breslin Center. 85-57 win. Michigan State's back on the road on Monday at Illinois, and we'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching.